welcome to another episode of the Bald Avenger Show. I am Jason Cisneros, also known as the Bald Avenger, and the tattooed guru, the purveyor of all things common sense, the king of the Misfit Nation, and a legend in my own mind. And I always ask the question, if you get upset by that, why aren't you a legend in your own mind? Because who else is going to think you're a legend? You know what I'm saying? So here we go. So tonight, I wanted to really talk about tonight. We've got a pretty cool show. I've got some really great shows coming up with some people that are amazing. If you caught the show the other night with Ta and Cole, that was amazing. Last night with Emily was fantastic. There's this building of positive energy, and I think we're all out here looking for a break, you know, from everything else that's going on out there. I get a lot of people that are saying, "Oh, Jason, you know, you got to take things seriously." I'll let everybody else take it seriously. I've already taken it seriously in my own life. I've already, prepared myself as much as I possibly could for anything like this happening over the last decade of my life. And so right now, what I think the world needs is an influx of laughter, an influx of joy, an influx of really solid advice on what to do with your downtime, right? We don't know if it's 2 weeks. We don't know if it's 10 days. We don't know if it's 2 months. We don't know. We just don't know. So rather than spinning out and running around, like being worried about all kinds of things that you really don't have much control over, honestly, like if you think about it, you go, the very first show that I did in this series of CTFD, the question is that everybody got alerted and awakened to the idea that we've had this illusion of control in the first place. So now that that's in a massive way, it's all gone. And we know now that it's always been an illusion of control. So now what do you do inside of this time frame, right? And I believe that it's going to define you. It's going to define our opportunities. It's going to define where you go in the next decade, right? Everybody says, Tony Robbins said it, I think the first time I ever heard it was, people overestimate what they can get done in a year, and they way underestimate what they can get done in a decade. So think about this as a restart, right? A fresh slate for whatever it is that you're doing, for whatever it is that you're working on, for whatever your old plans were. Think of this as a clean slate. Right. And even if you do some of the same things, you've got a business, you've got a business idea, you've got a job, you've got those things. No matter where you are in life, things have been upset. And again, think opposite of sheep, right? Think opposite of sheeple and put yourself in a position of leadership. That's what these calls are always about, or not these calls, but these shows are always about some aspect of leadership. And a lot of us run around saying, I want to be a leader. I want to be a leader. And then when times like this come, we disappear and we cower, or we shrink instead of growing bigger and go, you know what? I was born for days like this. I was born for times like this. Every piece of anything that has ever happened to me in my entire life has prepared me for this unique moment in history. And when they look back in the history books, what is the story that's going to be written about you, right? What's the story that's going to be written about how did you participate? How did you play the game, right? Tomorrow night's going to be a really great show. I've got my boys coming on, and we're going to talk about this project that we've got called Get in the Game, right? Get in the Game. And this is a little precursor to that before tomorrow night hits. Where we're going to really hammer in on what I see as some opportunities that are happening. There's places that are closing down, but there's also places that need a lot of help. There's places, even if it doesn't have anything to do with money, right? Being a leader and how you're defined in this period of time is going to be defined by what you do, right? And a leader steps up and adds value first and wonders about the payment and wonders about the compensation and wonders about all that stuff later. A true leader knows and understands that if you just set out every single day to add massive value to people, right? You add massive value starting right now. And I'm sorry, I wasn't catching all the comments, but I just want to say hello to everybody. Tamara, Robert, Lauren Harris, good to see you, buddy. Sean Barnett over on the other side of the world, Deb Cole. And so anyway, so I want to hone in on that idea, is that what you're doing now, right? Like in the movie, it will echo an eternity. It will echo an eternity for you, because how did you show up? What are your children watching you do right now? Are they watching you love? Are they watching you protect? Are they watching you come up with creative ways to keep their minds off of things? Like people that are weaker than us, either mentally, emotionally, physically, monetarily, they're looking for you right now, right? They're out there searching, they're sifting. And if your habits, like you see kind of a spectrum of what's going on online, which is the greatest way for us to communicate, which is the greatest way for us to be able to display our leadership skills right now, today, is digitally. It's getting on a live, it's getting and putting your heart out there for who you are as a leader, starting right now, because people are looking for you. Okay. So the title of this, and I want to keep coming back to it after every point that I make tonight, for the show that I've prepared, is just keep remembering this and keep saying this. Maybe put it on a piece of paper. Maybe put it as the screensaver on your cell phone. Maybe put it as a screensaver on your computer. Whatever it is, just look at the mirror or scream at the phone or your computer or whatever it is, and just say, I was born for times like this. You were built for this kind of stress. You were, every single thing, every broken relationship, every time you have had money struggles, every time you've been sick, every time somebody that you knew got sick, every time that there's been any struggle, strain, stress, or pain in your life, was a muscle being built for days like this, for times like this, for weeks or months or years or however long this ends up lasting. You were built and born for this particular moment in time. If you have said to yourself, I want to be a leader, I want to be the person that's going to step up, I want people to look to me in these times, right? I want people to remember what I did when this period of time, everybody was freaking out and retreating. I stepped forward, right? I took whatever I had inside of me. And it doesn't matter how strong and or how weak you think you are right now, you are stronger than you know. Because anybody that has stood out through the times in history, anytime that you remember a name from any kind of history book whatsoever, they were alive in times like this, and they stepped forward and they put the best foot forward, and they loved and they cared and they sacrificed and they led. And sometimes it killed them and sometimes it didn't, but whatever it is, they showed up, right? They showed up. And we all have a unique opportunity. Think about this. There are entire lifetimes that go by when you do not have an opportunity to show up and be a leader, to be a leader of men, to be a leader of women, to be somebody that stepped up, that said, you know what, I didn't know much about Noelle Agape before that crisis, but man, she stepped up and offered a bunch of power, right? Erin, I didn't know much about Erin, but boy, like she was one way before the crisis, and man, look at her now. And oh my God, I was able to look at somebody like Bonnie and get a reassuring word from her, or Michelle Batchelor. Who knew about her? Well, guess what? She stepped up when everybody else was stepping back. She stopped hoarding all of the toilet paper and gave it to the older person, gave it to the pregnant woman, stepped up and loved and cared and put their best foot forward, right? Danelle Delgado, right? I mean, if you watch what Danelle Delgado is doing, hi lady, right now, she is doubling down, right? I love that she put two little women with their hands up over here, because she is doubling down. She's doubling down in times of crisis. She's doubling down on everything that she said, because if Danelle disappeared during this period of time, everybody would go, well, that's not, I thought you were a leader. I thought you were somebody that was going to be stepping up. I thought that you were somebody that I could count on. Guess what she's doing? She's being that person, right? She's being that person. I'm wearing my voice out during the course of the day, talking to people, calming them down, giving them what I see as the vision of what's going to happen. You should be doing the same thing. This morning, look, I'm human. This morning, somebody posted some stuff and it was hateful and it was like divisive. And I got in and I was like, I'm so sick of this crap. Like, why can't you, like, just the old sayings of why, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say it. Like I was just bah, 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 bah. And it was on a very dear friend's page. And I was conversing and got into a little bit of a tiff with another one of my friends about what they were bringing forward. And I went, you know what? I'm sorry. That's not great leadership. That's me reacting for myself to be like, you know what? Because all of us are going to, during this period of time, right? All of us during this period of time, we are going to get fed up with the anti-Trump texts. We're going to get fed up with the anti-Democrat text. We're going to get fed up with this stuff. And we're just going to want to unleash, don't do it, right? Don't do it, because that's what everybody else is doing. And it adds absolutely no value. I added no value whatsoever, except for potentially damaging a relationship with two women that I desperately love, that I care about from the, we completely disagree politically, but I love both of them. And you know what I did was I deleted my comments. And then the one lady that I was going back and forth with, we had a conversation in the DM, and we said, we love each other. Said, I love you, right? This and that and the other. And you know, let's stay away from these comments for a while, because everybody's doing it. Look, y'all, whatever in life, not just now, in life, if everybody is doing something and believing something, it is most likely incorrect. And you should believe and do the very opposite of what they're doing. And so anytime you catch yourself wanting to be, oh, look at, this is confirmation that Trump is bad, and this is confirmation that the Democrats were setting him up. Anytime you feel like having that conversation, step back and go, not me. Not me, not today, not tomorrow, not until this thing is completely over, and probably not after that, because I'm going to form a whole bunch of new habits and strength to not get into petty arguments. If you're arguing, if you're wasting your energy, if you're spending that time instead of loving somebody, instead of figuring out how to step in and calm somebody's nerves and to step in and help where you can, $5, $1, if you have $1 million, if you have $20 million, if you have nothing but your smile, if you have nothing but your voice, if you have nothing but that moment of calm to look somebody in the eyes and say, I love you, you got this. Right? So I want everybody to say it again. I mean, make people around you think you're crazy, right? I was born for this. I was built from the cell of my tippy toe to the cell on my tippy head, that I was born for this moment. I was built for this kind of challenge. I was built to be a leader of men, to be a leader of women, for me to step up and step in instead of stepping back, step out and figure out how we can help some of these elderly people, the people that are at risk out there, that you may be younger, you may not, whatever. Don't go around them and put your hands all over on their face, but figure out how you can get them some food. Figure out how you can bring them up on Zoom and tell them you love them. Figure out how you can get into an old folks home that may be locked down right now, and just say, look, all I want to do is I want to show up. I want to sing. I want to read a poem. I want to read them a story. I want to just get in here and tell them how much I love them, right? Look for people, look for opportunities. There's so much of a habit, right? There's so much of a habit that you can build for doing the things that are right, that if this thing snaps back, like I think it's going to, right? Snaps back, the economy snaps back, everything starts to get back to normal, the way that I think it's going to. And I don't know the time frame, whether it's 3 months, whether it's 6 months, I don't know, but I believe that's what's going to happen. And when you come outside of that, when you snap out of that, right, you're either going to be one of the people who will hang their head in shame because you acted like a coward, or you are going to be somebody that holds their head high, because just like Bo Babka, who just got on here, is doing push-ups with me on his back. He's doing pull-ups, right, to get people to calm down. He flew across the country to go help one of our other good brothers, Kevin Rochelle, with his plate. This is what a leader does. They realize that you may never have this opportunity again in your lifetime. You may never have a time like this to show up, to test your mettle, to give you an opportunity, because guess what? The people that were supposed to be leaders that are out there, the people that have been pounding their chest about how great they are and how amazing, what kind of leaders they are, where the fuck are they? Okay, they have disappeared. And you know who the people that are showing up, the people that people may not know about, right? The Danelle Delgados, that she's coming into her own. I mean, I know a lot of people know about her, but man, as she steps up, man, they're going to be like, Danelle, step forward, right? Bo, step forward. Pastor Rudy stepped up and delivered and gave and loved, right? So where are you in your life? Where are you in this journey? And have you decided to yell at this computer, to yell at your phone, to go somewhere in where you may not want to be crazy? A lot of us are self-quarantined and doing all this other kind of crap. So who the hell cares who hears you? But just get it in your heart. I was built for this. I was born for times such as this. Me, the person staring me in the mirror, I was born for this. And I will do whatever is necessary to love, to sacrifice, to give, because I'm going to die anyway. This is the thing. Nobody's getting out of this shit alive, right? Nobody, not in this particular circumstance, but at some point in time, we're all going to be 6 feet under. We're all going to be there. And the thing that's going to last above that ground, the thing that's going to last in those people that are sitting around and mourning your passing, the people that are going to be crying for months after you're gone, the people that are going to be, there's a piece of my heart gone. There's not going to be a piece of their heart missing if you don't give them a piece of your heart when they need it, and they need it now. They need it right the fuck now. They need you. They need you to be thinking about how can we possibly, we need you to be sitting at home. And I'm going to give 6 or 7 points here in about 5 seconds, but I want you to get this in your heart, guys. I want you to get this in your muscle. I want you to get this in your spirit, that do not participate in all the horse shit that's going on online, right? Figure out a way to reverse it. Figure out and decide right now in this moment that you are a leader who will be remembered for your love. You will be remembered for your sacrifice. You will be remembered for your intellect. You will be remembered for your integrity in this moment. You will not be the person that loads up an entire truck full of toilet paper to leave people. You're never going to use that stuff. You're never going to go through it. Like, it's going to take you 2 years to go through it. And meanwhile, we got single moms, pregnant moms. We have elderly that can't have shit because you took it all. Stop that. This shit is going to pass. And you're going to be remembered for being a selfish asshole, or you're going to be remembered for somebody that stepped up and gave what you could when maybe you were weaker than you think that you are, right? Than you portray, or that what you've got monetarily. It doesn't matter, y'all. Give what you've got. It's the parable of the talents. Look it up in the Bible. It is a fantastic story, right? It's a fantastic story. And I don't care what you think about religion. Read the story. It's amazing. All right. So what are you doing with your talents? Are you hiding them? Are you cowering in fear? Because again, we've talked a lot about state. I've had some people on last night, the night before, Todd and Cole. And these are people who are teaching and leading and doing what they preach. When you watch Danelle and her marketing advertising, like everybody's like, oh, I'm pulling back on marketing. I'm pulling back on advertising. I'm pulling back on all this stuff. Danelle's like, take my money. Right? Because people are looking for the Danelle Delgados of this world. They're looking for the Leah Steeles of this world. They're looking for the Tamara Hunters of this world. They're searching and seeking for you. They don't even know that that's your name. How could they know your name if you're too busy hiding, right? How could they know your name? They'll know your name by your deeds and by how you show up today, y'all. This is Misfit Nation. And if you're new to the show, I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. Okay. This is the CTFD, Calm the Fuck Down series. And in this series, what I'm doing is I'm talking to Misfit Nation. Anybody who says and thinks that they are a leader and has portrayed that that's what they want to do. This is the best time in our lifetime that we've had the opportunity to step up, show leadership, bring calm, love each other, and put all of the petty bullshit. If you still hate during this period of time, you're lost. You are lost. If you can't say a nice thing about Democrats or Republicans or whatever, and you still have to play that petty bullshit political game, you are lost. And you better find yourself, because at the end of the day, that's going to do nothing but damage your health. It's going to not do nothing but damage your relationships. It's not going to do anything but damage your financial situation. You've got to be prepared. You have to be mentally prepared. I know that some of you don't have a pot to piss in, and some of you have a lot of money, and some of you are preppers, and there's a wide range, right? There's a wide range. whatever your gifts are, it's time for you to display them. It's time for you to give them away so that you understand the more you give, the more shows up for you to give, right? They say, oh, the more you give, the more you get. No, 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 no. The more you give, the more capacity and the more resources come to your aid to be able to continue what the universe, what God rewards, which is service and giving. And you're not taking any of this shit with you. You're not taking that toilet paper with you to your grave, right? You will take a memory of you giving that toilet paper to your neighbor. You will take the memory of opening a door for somebody. You will take the memory of you loving somebody who needed it, loving the unlovable. You're going to take that with you. That's the only thing that you're going to be able to store up in heaven and into the sky is your deeds, not your shit, not your house, not your car, not your reputation, none of that stuff. So what are you doing, right? This is a wake-up call to leaders who say they're leaders. It's a wake-up call for those of us that have been dying. Like, I love serving. I'm addicted to that shit. And there's all kinds of places to do it. From a smile to somebody who's stressed out. You can see people are stressed out. And I don't care if you've got a lot or you've got nothing. Everybody's worried about the same thing. What's next? Right? Nobody knows the answer. That's the uncertainty. That's the uncertainty. So let me give you some practical things, y'all. But the heart of what I wanted to get through tonight is I want you 50 times a day. I had this conversation a little bit with Casey yesterday. I want you 50 times a day, 100 times a day, 12,000 times a day. I don't care what it is, but I want you to look in that mirror and I want you to say, I was built for this. I was built for this moment. Everything I've gone through that has hurt me built a muscle because I survived. Everything that I have experienced in my life that I thought was going to break me but didn't has built me in strong places. Where I was broken, now I'm stronger. And the reason why was because you were preparing for a time in history like this, that we need leaders, we need love, we need compassion, we need passion, we need ideas, we need thinking outside the box, we need looking for things that are all around us, because your life is never going to be the same again. This is a life-altering scenario that you are in the middle of right now. And you get to design. You get to be one of the designers, unless you're going to be one of the haters or the people that disappear when the first sight of pain shows up or stress or whatever it is. You get to define the next decade of how people treat each other, of how we do business, of how we educate our kids, of how we take care of our elderly. Thank God this is happening, because I guarantee you that there's 99% of you that haven't thought about the elderly because you've been too busy worrying about your fucking self. It's a great time for us to realize that there are people in pain and have been in pain before this started. They're in pain now, and there's going to be people in pain afterwards, and you are born to be a servant to ease suffering. That's why you were born. You're built, your strength, your muscles, your all of the spirit inside of you. And some of you appear weak on the outside, but there's all that muscle that was inside because the world tried to break you and you didn't break. I'm here for one reason tonight, and that's to remind you that you are an all-powerful fucking being, a creative being. You have all the tools inside of you to be able to weather whatever storm comes your way. Because my favorite, one of the things in the Bible, again, is that even the birds and the trees are provided for. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Now, start telling that to other people. Stop trying to absorb and look for people to make you feel better. Stop being the person that looks around going, I'm looking for some certainty, and be the damn certainty. Because that's what we need. Hi, guys. So here's some things. I just wrote down 7 quick things, and this is leading into what we're going to talk about tomorrow, which is going to be all about getting in the game, because there is tremendous opportunities for you. So here's my 7 points for tonight. Okay. One is find and create humor, right? And I've just put out to the side of it the Italian model, right? The Italian model is that they are in a horrific situation. There's there's people that are in terrible situations over there, and the elderly that are dying, and people are worried about being sick and blah, blah, blah. And you see people standing out on the balconies, singing to each other, sending each other jokes, right? You got so many people over here in America that are trying to trash each other. And I just look to the Italians, right? It's amazing to me that in America, we need to look to another country at this particular moment in time to see what humanity looks like. There's a lot of it going on here in America that's not being highlighted. All day, every day, the very first thing I do when I wake up is I go on the internet and I try to find the best story that I can possibly find, and I post it, okay? Because that's how I want to start my day. I want to see that Chick-fil-A just took 1,000 meals to nurses and, excuse me, nurses and doctors who are working at, dawn to dusk. They're working their asses off for us because you got a bunch of hypochondriacs that are going in, a bunch of people that are getting tested that are coming up negative, and you have the people that are normally sick and need them that we're having to filter through all of that shit, right? So God bless you if you're part of our healthcare system. God bless you for the work that you're doing. God bless you for probably the bell curve that's going to mean that you're going to be even busier and we're going to have people in there. But we've got voices of sanity coming from places I never expected them. With Governor Cuomo out of New York, that guy is demonstrating such great leadership, right? And his connection with Trump, and who's even put away the political thing, and they're working together. These two people hate each other, I know, probably at their core, hate each other. And they're working together. They're figuring it out, trying to put the people of New York and that state and that city at ease. And that's what we should do. Put away the petty and bring out the laughter and the smiles and the common sense. And how can I help and how can I serve? Your little whiny voice on the internet is doing nothing but adding to a bad energy, a bad frequency. Everything in life is about frequency. Everything in life is about frequency. What frequency are you vibrating at? What frequency are you putting out into the world, right? Are you vibrating high? I love, I care, I'm going to give it. Like, just read Dr. Emoto if you want to about frequencies and how much they affect and impact things, right? Loving on people is going to help your cells be better and healthier. So laughter, okay? Number 2, read or study a subject that will accelerate your recovery from this. Get some books, right? Get some books. Find a subject that you don't know about and educate yourself on it while you're sitting around. Jump off of the screen. I put the phone down and get off social media about 2 hours a day now, where I just go play basketball, or I go for a walk, or I go play with my kids, or whatever it is. There's a lot. You have a lot of extra time on your hands right now, and you're going to do not spend your time worrying all day. It's going to make you sick. Okay. And I'm not talking coronavirus sick. I'm just saying it's going to make you sick. Yep. And I'm going to come back and look at some of your stuff. Okay. So number 3, lose that 10 pounds that you've been wanting to lose, right? If you don't have as much food, don't eat as much food. Go for a walk, do some push-ups. Yes, the gyms are closed. Who cares? Do some push-ups. Go find my good friend who I'm going to bring on next week, Tom Terwilliger, who has a lot of really great workouts for you. As a former competitor in the Mr. Olympia, like 3rd place, I think is where he got. Mr. America, like all these types of things. Go look up Tom Terwilliger's page and look at the workouts that he's putting out that you can do from home, right? Lose the weight. Come out of this going, you know what? I got a 6-pack now. Where'd you get it? Oh, it's my Corona 6-pack, right? because you took your time and you did something positive with it. Okay. Let's see. What else do I got here? For get anal about setting a strategy for your next decade of performance. Spend time designing your future, because there is one. Okay. There is one. And regardless, just do an A and a B scenario, just like I've done. There's a depression and a devastation, and this thing is the worst case scenario. I have a strategy for that. Why? Because I took time away from fighting with everybody and worrying about everything. And I said, you know what? The prudent thing for me to do for my family, for my country, for myself, for my friends, for all those people, the prudent thing for me to do is, what if this is worst case scenario? What am I going to do? I have a strategy for that. I don't walk around with doubt in my mind. I know if the indicators say we are sliding into a depression and there's a social unrest and all this kind of stuff, I got a plan. Do you? Okay. Secondary, I've got a secondary plan, which is this thing is going to pretty much work itself out in the next 3 months. We'll see a recovery in the economy over the course of the next 3 months. So 6 months from now, we're going to be kind of like, this thing didn't really, I mean, it happened, but we're kind of back in it, right? We're back in that fight. We're back in the rhythm, going to restaurants, doing the stuff so I have that strategy too, right? I have that strategy too. So I've got 2 strategies because I sat down and thought about it. What do you want your next decade to look like? Now's the time, because there's going to be all kinds of opportunity, right? There's all kinds of opportunity right now. There's going to be even more opportunity as soon as we get to the other side of this, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be weakened, that are going to be stressed, that are not going to be in their right mind to be able to participate in the giant pent-up upswing snapback that's going to happen when people are like, oh my God, I can go on a plane. Oh my God, I can go on a cruise ship. Oh my God, right? And there's going to be all this business that's going to be out there to be had, and people that are worn down and stressed out and beat themselves up over this thing like it was the end of the world. They're going to be weak, right? Don't be weak. This is the reason I'm doing this show every single night until I get to a place where we don't need to hear it anymore, is because you need to take this time to strengthen, right? I had a New York nurse on here. They talk about how he fixed his own health system, what you could do for your own. And we had Emily on here, what she's done with her business and those types of things. I'm going to have people after people after people after people that are going to add value. I'm bringing Danelle Delgado on. I'm going to bring every speaker that was at Unstoppable is going to come on, and they're going to help you through this because they're stepping up and they're stepping forward, right? If you have something that you want to do, if you have some value that you want to add to the audience, then by God, send me a DM and tell me you want to be on the show. Tell me what you want to talk about, what value you're going to add, and I'll have you on. We've all got plenty of time, right? We've all got plenty of time. So get anal about setting a strategy for your next decade of performance. Number 5, spend specific time studying and searching for opportunities that are appearing now and that will open up in the near future. Okay? Take off your, I can't, there's not, it's nothing, it's gone, it's less, it's blah, right? Get rid of that hat and say, okay, I'm going to step back from the sheeple in the world, and I'm going to look around me for opportunities to serve. I'm going to look for gaps of saying, you know, okay, this might bring up a whole bunch of opportunity for delivery services. It might be a time for you to invest in Zoom. It might be, you know, there might be shifts in the educational system like that. Again, sit down and just write down the most nonsensical opportunities that are appearing because of right now, right? And in there, you might find a business opportunity that will transform your family's life in the future, that will put millions of dollars in your pocket, that may be able to help you get away from that job that you hate. Look at what you've been doing for the last 20 years and say, what can I do right now to start my own business while this one may close down? Look for opportunity. Set your gauge, set your mind to what is available to me right now because of what is scaring everybody. What can I do to add value in an integrity-based way, not by stealing all the freaking Purell and then trying to sell it at 20, like those people should have their asses beat. And I know Pastor Rudy's going to get mad at me for saying that because I should love the Purell hoarding people, but I love them, but I just would like to give them a beat down. So let's see. Number 6, my point was, none of this is available to those who are paralyzed in fear. Okay? This is what I wrote down this morning. These are my 7 points for today. And there's nothing available to people who are paralyzed in fear. Period. End of sentence. Okay? The 7th one is going to be the last point, that's going to lead into what we're going to talk about tomorrow night. And I'm going to bring on Joe Callow. I'm going to bring on Thomas McDonald. Joe's the president of my company, Anton J, and Thomas is my CFO, not my CFO, sorry. My CMO, good Lord, my brain. He's my CMO, Chief Marketing, runs the Anton J agency side of our business. So that's going to be tomorrow. But think about this, okay? Here's the final point that I want to leave you with this evening, is that brands, and you're going to love this, Deb. Deb Cole, who's a brand expert and a marketing genius. You're going to love this one. Brands are always built in the bad times. Brands are always built in the bad times. What does that mean, right? If you have let's just say a janitorial company, right? And everything, you've got it all dialed in, you're doing well, blah, blah, blah. You miss somebody's dumpster. They call in, they complain, right? What do you do about it, right? That's a bad time, right? That your service didn't come through, but it's also a grand opportunity for you to go, we apologize for that. And I'm going to give you $15 off, and it's going to be done. And there's going to be a little note, and we're going to check in with you every week, blah, 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 blah. That's when brands are built, is when shit is hitting the fan or things are bad, right? Because think about the people that you are irritated by. You bought a car, you bought a digital program, you did something, and you didn't get what you expected out of it, and you complained, right? To maybe not even to complain, but to help them improve their service. And all they did was say, we already have your money, fuck off, right? Beat it. That is a bad brand. That is why most companies are desperately trying to get the next sucker in the door instead of having a steady stream of people coming to them because of referrals, right? So that one, we're going to talk a lot more about tomorrow night. I'm going to go into this. The subject of tomorrow night is going to be getting in the game, because this is a game. We're all playing it. No matter what the circumstances are, we're all playing it. We're all playing a game right now, and you got to get in the game if you're going to win the game, if you're going to succeed, if you're going to get those things going. So I want to end this just like I started, okay? Take as many opportunities as you possibly can in the mirror over the course of the next 10 weeks or however long this goes, and just scream at yourself until you convince yourself you were built for this. You were born for times like this. You were built for this. Every cell in your body, every breath you take makes you stronger. Every opportunity that you see to serve and to love and to step up, you were built and you were born for this moment. Accept it, breathe that shit in, yell it to yourself in the mirror, and look for opportunities. And more than ever, y'all, more than ever, look out for your neighbor. Look out for those people that need you. Look out for those people that are compromised. Be strong where you're strong. Ask for help where you're not. And give everything you have during this crisis to other people. And you're going to build a brand. And you're going to be somebody who's going to be proud of yourself, who's going to be talking to their grandchildren, there are going to be stories about how you stepped up and stepped in. There's going to be legends about you because of how much you served and how much you sacrificed and how deeply you loved and how much you gave today, tomorrow, and for as long as this situation plays out. I love you all very, very much. I want you to know with every breath that I take that I come here to serve, that I think about you all, that I think about what we need to hear, that I prepare these messages, that I bring the best voices that I can possibly bring, because I love you. I love you. I care about you. I want you to succeed. We need more Misfit Nation. We need more of us. We need the best of you. So thank you for being here. I will never take it for granted. Share this out. Share these shows. Put out your own shows. Tell me when you're going to be on so I can share them. And we'll see you again tomorrow night for another episode of the CTFD series. I love y'all. Peace.